Hello, today we'll be going over a correspondence game between Bill and CJ. Okay, starting off very normal. Yep. All right, so that makes a lot of sense. And to back up, if fried liver is ever something that you're worried about, it's as easy to avoid as just pinning the knight to the king with the bishop. It will not only do the thing that I just said, but also activate the bishop so that you can castle immediately. When faced with knight b4, should it be possible if you say you activated your bishop and put it on e2 or what have you, as long as this knight and bishop are out of the way, casting a response to a fried liver is very powerful. In the meantime, I think this is a good move. There are an equal number of attackers as defenders and covers that weak c2 square. Kicking the knight. Okay. Yeah, this is all very good. Attacking the queen with tempo, forcing the queen to move. Castling, so white is now safe. Black's pieces are a little bit jumbled. Maybe maybe c5 in this position could have been good. It would have opened up this dark squared diagonal, kind of opened things up if white had taken, then black can take back with the bishop. It does undouble white's pawns, but activating your bishop and queen I think is a good trade-off. Plus, it doesn't lose a piece. All right, I don't agree with h5. There's there's just so much going on here. Maybe the idea was bishop g4, making an outpost, starting an attack on the king side, but I think maybe castling first is a good idea, just because all of the pieces of it is possible. So, I mean, there's that. It is a little bit dangerous with the white pieces staring down, but could have been considered. So I think some of the top moves in this position for black would be to kind of sort this out, either castle, break open the center in this way, because the queen just covers this so easily, or yeah, just kind of move the queen to a safe square and help get the dark squared bishop out. I don't know if g6 would have been good. It's just another tempo, and it could be considered. But instead, h5 was played, which I think was just kind of trying to do too many things at once. h3 in response. I think this kind of actually makes a little fishing trap. There's something called the fishing pole trap. It starts with one of these pawn moves like this, and if you're not careful, sacrifices can happen. Or another example would be to put the knight on g4. If h x g4, take back with the pawn, and this file is now open and very challenging to defend. Great. This is a strong move. Open up. This file is half open. That's what that. When one side has one pawn on the file is half open. I think this is a little dangerous. This knight is so strong, staring at this fork now that castling has happened. I think castling was good, but there are many weaknesses to handle almost immediately as things get more complicated quickly. So I think this is a weakness, and maybe moving to g6 with your bishop could have been okay. I know that enables the knight to take, taking back. That's not the worst thing in the world. It's better than getting forked for sure. Another downside of bishop g6 is that after the knight takes, this is now open and some tactics will be enabled. So I think castling was probably good. I think it needs help and for the black pieces to be coordinated in the defense of the king. immediately trying to get this knight out of here by moving your knight. Sorry, I was trying to clear the annotations. I know it's a little bit busy here. So yeah, I think getting this knight out would be an immediate priority for the black pieces. I think this has the right idea because, you know, you're forcing or you're making this nice V, and that's great. It does whenever you move a pawn in front of your king, you do weaken your king. That's something to watch out for. Also, if we look at these three files, what black pieces are there? You have three pawns and the king, while the rest of the pieces are on the other side of the board. Very dangerous, right? And here, I think the tactics are just going to start coming here. Obviously, black can't take, and this is hanging. Yep, wow. Yep, the tactics are fantastic. So if black were to take here, running into a ton of trouble. I don't know what the quickest checkmate would be, but this is so dangerous. So well played by white to find that. Yeah, with the queen on this dark diagonal, with all of the dark squares really being controlled, really just got to get this queen to a different square, a different place to be. And now that the squares are really tightening around the black pieces and the black king, it's just that much more dangerous. That's what these two pawn moves really cost. Instead of bringing pieces into the game, it was kind of hoping for a simple fix when that's just not going to cut it with this many pieces involved from white. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, this starts to lose pieces very quickly. Either one was good. I'm not sure which one fastest checkmate, but we're definitely looking at checkmate with the number of squares that are being taken away from the black king. Now the queen can block here, so maybe white did play the best move because obviously the queen doesn't want to block here. All right, I know it's easy to be in a winning position and make the first check you see, and I'm not saying this check was bad, but always look for the best move, even when you're winning, even when you're crushing in this kind of position. I do think rook c7 was good. All right, I think there was probably checkmate here. Maybe starting with rook c1. If here, you know, yeah, this looks crazy. Yeah, okay. And finally, okay. So watch out. Just also it's fun. This just to try to checkmate your opponent. I'm not if you're short on time or what have you. Obviously don't. But when you're winning, when you're playing a slower game, definitely look for the absolute best move. It's always yeah, if you can find mate in six, that's amazing. I think there was something better here. Knight x f7 is good as a fork, but there's a piece not being played here. King c8. Oh, yep, and that wins the game. All right, let's go through it with the computer and see what I missed. I think lessons learned for the black pieces is to just coordinate, try to get all your pieces in the game. There were several ideas that were played at different times that didn't really work out or were abandoned almost immediately. And I think it is better to abandon a bad idea than to fully commit to it, but I think if black wanted to make counterplay on the king side, go for it. Maybe put in a little bit more into it, because if you can move over one white piece over to the king side instead of attacking on the queen side, it might be worth it. Just going to quickly flip through this. It's saying to take with the knight is the best move. I don't think that's a big deal. I'm not going to worry about inaccuracies, and generally at our level, they're largely ignorable. Knight x d3 was played anyway. Okay, yeah, this allows knight e5, which is just very strong. Yeah, it's the top recommended move here. Queen e7 blocks in that dark squared bishop. That's why it's recommending back to the d8 square. Saying g4 was the best. I would ignore that as a computer move when I think it's very principled to have castled in this position. You have an obvious open file and avenue of attack. The castling was very smart and very human to do. Yeah, starting a kingside attack right now is ill-advised. And c6, which was played later, would solve more problems than white could create. Yeah, I just don't think h3 was necessary, and largely I don't know if queen a4 is really that great just due to c6. Oh, and recommending sacrifice. Okay. So that is actually really strong. So not only would black have to find something that could not be sacrificed against, have to continue the line here. Yeah, I think there's a lot of threats for white in this position. It's hard to know exactly which one. And castling here, of course, yeah. So yeah, just something to consider. h3, I don't know what problem it solved or what threat black was really had gotten into white's mind. I don't really feel like this is a bad move. The reason knight b5 is recommended first is because it can't be played after c6. I'm sorry. It can't be played after c6. It was played. Um, it just feels a lot better to play it before c6. So I don't understand actually where the checkmate is. Ah, okay. Gotcha. So earlier I had seen this and thought that's where the line ended, but just look for checks. Ah, and with discover check here, the game is over. I still think rook c6 was a fine move. Keeps the pressure on. Wins a queen. Yeah, mate in 4. Starts with queen c6. Let's see if we can't find it. Successor's mate in... Of course, yeah, that's mate in 1. Okay, so there's mate in 4. I'm curious how it goes. Okay, double check. So only legal move. Okay, and there you have it. That was mate in 4. And of course, mate 1 happened. Okay, yeah, I think white was played good. I think black had some good moves, and maybe lessons learned is going for a fried liver, not that great. It was fine here, but just watch out where you activate your pieces, and be careful of castling queenside when white is more developed or your opponent is more developed. Okay, thanks for watching. Until next time.